Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Speaker's Corner. So glad that you all are here. We have the pleasure of welcoming Michael Edwards. After retiring, Michael and Cheri became involved in community theater, and Michael is going to talk about the challenges they experienced in one production and the reality of saying the show must go on. So Michael, take it away.
Thanks, Cindy. Good evening. First, we'll talk about how we got sucked into community theater. Beware. In 2006, we retired onto a sailboat and out of Annapolis, Maryland. So we sailed down the ICW all the way down to the Florida Keys. From there we spent about 6 months in Key West before then deciding to head back to Annapolis. On the way we stopped in Marathon. Trivia people, who knows what the harbor name is in Marathon?
Boot Key.
Boot Key Harbor. A la Michael Powell, that's good for half a point. In what Humphrey Bogart movie did he mention Boot Key Harbor?
Key Largo.
We have winners. Okay. We like to be interactive here. It's theater. Okay, so we came to Marathon and we needed to provision up, so we walked to the grocery store. On the way we walked by Marathon Community Theater. They had a placard out. And they were doing a audition for a summer reading of the show Vanities. We've never been involved in theater, never had a desire to do it, but we thought it'd be a good joke, something interesting for my captain's log. So we went inside. They only had roles for 3 women. Cheri auditioned, and she got a role. So our plans were then changed. About the same time, the theater has a 1 weekend only fundraiser, and I decided to enter skit. I wrote something about a muse inspiring George Gershwin to write the song and musical for Summertime.
I'm working on it right now. What do you call it? Wintertime. Lyrics, yeah, I've got the lyrics right here. Wintertime, sleigh bells rock all over. Let's go skating. Holding hands with my gal. Right? Yes? No, the song is heavy, but the whole musical's gonna be heavy. No, that's gonna be the second verse.
Oh, no, Mr. Gershwin,
No, my lyrics. I'll call you right back. My lyrics, the story, my notes, it's all ruined. What am I gonna do?
Oh, take it easy.
How can I take it easy? This is how I make my living.
Oh, Miss Gershwin, try to relax. After all, it's summertime.
It's summertime. I'm ruined.
Miss Gershwin, try to cheer up. Look out this window. It's a beautiful day. I can see fish jumping in the stream. And look, the corn's as tall as my head. And I'm this high, too. There's a nice young couple from down the street walking their new little baby girl. Look at Daddy's new coat and hat. He must be rich. Well, lucky baby. Her mom sure is good looking. And the daddy's handsome, too. All the little women are just working up. And you're starting to cry. Hush, little baby, don't cry. There's nothing that harm you. Is everything all right, Mr. Gershwin?
this brought me to the attention of the director for the upcoming musical, Me and My Girl. Back in those days, unless you had live musicians, you're stuck with MIDI files. So, a MIDI file, MIDI is a processor, and it knows what notes to play, when to play them, and how long to play them. But it doesn't create anything of itself. You hook hardware onto it, and that then creates the sound. Now the trouble is, you change hardware, and here's what it sounds like. Awesome. So, Fred, he found a new software package called Notion. Instead of doing external processes or whatever, it was a software package, and on the left-hand side, you would have instruments sampled from an actual orchestra. So if I had a violin, a harp, a piano, a trumpet, and I put it on that same staff, I would get that actual sound. So suddenly we had the possibility to have rich sounding orchestration and accompaniment. So I was stuck in a closet for several weeks, inputting the score, the actual physical score into Notion, while Cheri was having fun. She was cast as a dancer, and so the big parties and dancing and whatever else, and I'm stuck in a closet. So this then created our new life. We had intended to sail around the world and whatever, but life gives you opportunities or a new chapter, and sometimes you take advantage of it. So from October to May was theater season. We did this for 7 years. In between, we dodged hurricanes. We acted, directed, stage managed, built sets, tore them down. Now, a disclaimer. We have Marathon here, down here in the middle. Key West has several professional theaters. Excellent talent, wonderful people. We have the coast with Miami, Fort Lauderdale, professional talent from around the world. Marathon, we had the postman, the mail clerk, the UPS guy, a real estate agent. So this is community theater. So I ask your indulgence as I'm playing clips that give us an ounce of forgiveness. In 2013, the theater did the play Company. Trivia people. Who wrote the music and lyrics for Company? Stephen Sondheim. AKA from Michael Powell. That's good for half a point. What puzzle was Stephen Sondheim a huge fan of? Sudoku. He liked the Times as well. He was mainly a Sudoku guy. I was cast in the role, I was music director and also cast in the role of Harry.
Do we want to stand there? Where? There.
All right, I'm standing here. Now what? Let's do it. All right, darling. I'll come at you again.
Cheri was cast in the role of Amy. Rita was the director of the play, and one day we were painting flats, basically the walls of a set. And she said, hey, we should write a play together. Cheri and I had already started something, and I wrote 2 pieces of music. The first was a wedding song.
Come on, Mom. You know Dave has some definite ideas about what he wants in a wedding. Or should I say what he doesn't want? Nothing traditional, or sentimental, or anything that's ever been done before. In other words, that wedding that I've been planning since I was a little girl, it's not in the cards. White floral gown, rose petals among, candlelit faces gleaming, who could ask for more? Princes on white horses come to carry you away. What was left for carriage waiting? Pumpkin pie for 2.
What about the Eiffel Tower at the break of day? Bungee jumping, falling, screaming. Underwear time too.
The second song I wrote was about people in their normal lives. And they used theater to give them that extra taste of life.
That's them, just like the rest of us. No matter how hard the day was at the office or how tired I am when I get here, I get a second wind when I walk on the theater.
I know what you mean. My friends at work think I'm crazy, giving up 4 nights a week for 12 weeks of rehearsals, and then doing performances 5 weekends in a row. You can't believe we do this for free just for the fun of it.
Well, have your friends ever been on stage? They don't know what they're missing. And with the applause, opening night, and after all of those weeks of rehearsing, we finally perform for an audience. Hearing their reactions, the laughs and moans and gasps, it's just an indescribable feeling.
The thrill of stepping out of my life and becoming someone else. Through the day, I am the UPS guy. At night, I am the hero. Ha 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 ha. The villain. Boom. The lover.
Yeah. But the next morning, you're back on your job.
You ask why I stay, why don't I run away? My hands are bound by handcuffs made of gold.
Things are very fine, my IRA's on mine. I have 2 weeks of vacation every year. I got them at it shines so bright, we
That's
find
not
my
me.
light till I am blinded. Dancing, singing, it's fun to be alive. Freedom, I'm flying, I'll laugh, I'll laugh, I'll cry.
Don't panic.
However, when it came to the script, Cheri and I did not do well. Ran into a wall. It's tougher than you think. Rita, however, said that is her specialty. She was born and raised in New York, went to one of these theater schools, and was a theater major in university. So the three of us got together and wrote Act Now. Three of us wrote the script, I wrote the music and the lyrics. We submitted it to the play reading committee, which they accepted, and we put it into production the next year. I was music director, and because we were short on guys, I was also cast in the role of Jeffrey, the smallest possible role I could handle. Because Cheri and Rita didn't want to sit in the audience during the production, Cheri ran the soundboard and Rita ran the lights. Another fair warning, and I'll read this. The characters in the play are based on exaggerated versions of real-life people in the theater. If you are easily offended, consider departing down stage left, that way. We're all still here. Excellent. We continue on. Act Now is about people auditioning for a musical, and it has both the backstage and the intrigue and the drama that goes on in the theater. Exaggerated fashion, of course.
Feel for it. Why don't you say that to me? I've been so nice to you. Sit before me now, just Miss Light is bigger yet. You sit before me. I'm so nervous. What do you do next? Break my leg?
You be surprised how much pain can help you get over a piece of the nerve. Now come on, I know you can do this. Steve, let's go again. Third time's a charm.
Sit before me now, just like a Spanish position. Yeah, I thought you shared some mercy, just a nervous first audition. Of information all across the field, theoretical. And I know pain can help me overcome my nervous spectacle. You nervous?
He's shaking.
He's not sure.
Not taking. You'd rather all my type of kind of cute and not disarming, but he still reminds me of myself when I played Maid in Reference Play.
Jurassic Park, I did they do that big Tyrannosaurus? Now I have to holler next.
We created the role, thank you. We created the role of Nicholas as a voice for the audience. As he has conversations with other characters, the audience joins his journey of discovery about theater on stage. In the beginning of Act 2, Peggy has a conversation with him about the excitement of doing live theater.
Being on a roller coaster, that weird feeling in the pit of your stomach. Exciting and scary at the same time, right?
Yeah, well, that comes close, but on a coaster you can see the big drop coming. Especially if you ride the same one often enough, you know what to expect when, and it becomes routine. With live theater, every audience is different. Each night, anything can happen.
Oh, that's me. Each night, anything can happen. Things went really well for a couple weeks. And we have a cast call about 1 hour before curtain time. Cast comes in, does their costumes, their makeup, works on their lines, choreography in order to get warmed up so they can immediately start in character. This Saturday, a couple weeks into the run, the character playing Lawrence came in 10 minutes before curtain time, drunk. Rita and I talked to him, walked him around. He felt he could carry on and cover it. We were so wrong. You see the look of daggers his partner's giving him? Yeah. So, after the number, I went back to the green room, and Rita, Cheri, and I were texting them in the sound booth, and me in the green room, and talking through what do we do. He was dropping lines, covered by other characters, but we had some choreography coming up, and it could be risky. This guy's had a dare who could drop their partner that's lowest. We decided to shut down the show. So Rita came backstage. We did rock, paper, scissors. I won. Rita went on stage to tell the audience that we're shutting it down. We would give refunds, of course. Problem is, we'd already broken the fourth wall several times in the play. Just to bring us all up to speed, all of you, most of you know, fourth wall is when I am talking to someone. Let's say that Joey and I were on stage and we're having a conversation. Joey says something funny.
I love your suit.
Now, if I turn to you, the audience, and say, he likes my suit, I've just broken the fourth wall. What movies have come out that really feature breaking that fourth wall?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. Finally, we got the audience to leave. We got the character playing, or the person playing Lawrence, into a treatment center, and everybody went home. The next day, we needed a distraction, so we went to the Marathon Seafood Festival. I kept on stumbling into things, just still in shock. However, as we passed by the booth of a friend, Jeff, an incredible woodworker, and he's married to one of our cast members. He's there Saturday, and 1 or 2 matinees on Sunday. Then they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. We called the cast members and said, hey, special circumstances. And the wonderful cast, they all came in to help Jeff and I get up to speed, running through the show many, many times. One big thing was choreography. Notice there are 4 guys. version 2, 3 guys.
Yep, new role, new costume.
Okay, remember the disclaimer about vocals? So this is where I, again, beg your indulgence. One of the main numbers for the character of Lawrence was this, Heroes of Olympus on the Road to Memphis. And here is the original Lawrence doing the...
Say we did years ago, Heroes of Olympus. He gets the lead in forevermore. He's very active on...
Do you see the problem? Yeah. If I had a year, I could not get in that shape. So that's problem 1. Number 2 is a trivia question. Back to the Future. Who was the original actor playing Marty McFly? No way, Stumper. Eric Stoltz, excuse me. He had a very different dark interpretation of the role of Marty McFly versus Michael J. Fox. So after discussion with the director, I felt that the character needed to be big and obnoxious. I went a little crazy. So here's how that role went. That's breaking the fourth wall, by the way.
What's the 411 on Peggy?
The second number was this one.
You know, the scoop, the story.
I didn't have to take my shirt
ready,
off.
Willing, and able. Is she single?
I think she's ready. And she's probably willing. Big question is the able part. Poor Peggy, poor Peggy, poor Peggy, poor Peggy. First day, so many stress. Spaghetti, still down her dress. It's romantic and alive. Her house burned down and down. Never, Peggy, a friend of mine. Vacation, fairyland. Tsunami in Thailand. Earthquake in 95. Insurance 79. Well, Peggy, wrong choices made. Wrong choices made. Getting the grave. It's snowing, let's have fun. Peggy's leg broke on downhill run. Peg went fishing, a perfect day. Till a hurricane came her way. Well, Peggy, like a chainsaw, Peggy, it's Murphy's Law.
So Jeff had to learn new lines and blocking. In my transition, I had to kind of forget the old blocking as I learned the new lines. And my biggest problem was being in some group movement type things where I'd kind of forget and kind of fall into the old blocking. Fortunately, the character of Lawrence had 3 girlfriends. And they were very supportive when I start to fall into the incorrect blocking One would grab me in a hug, all in character. Audience never knew. Kind of whisper, "You need to be here. This is upcoming in the future." And a special note, all three are dolphin trainers. Welcome to the Keys.
Okay, so this is where you look to see if you can really act. Pay careful attention. And if you ask you to change anything, make sure you listen.
What are you talking about? I don't know how to improv. I just thought auditions were about singing and dancing and reading from the script.
You watch too many movies. That's true for professionals who come to audition.
And this deals with the other warning. So I had cheat notes, anything I could. All my entrance, exits, I had things taped to the curtain of my upcoming lines. In this case, I used audition cards that had my lines that I was saying at the time, as well as in the future. Again, you have the ability to leave downstage left.
Let's see here, Diane, Rachel, been there, done that. And that, sweet, did that one twice. Grand Chedwin, like some new blood. Hey, did you get a look at her?
No, Lawrence, you are like the theater's version of an ambulance chaser. Please tell me you don't call numbers on the bathroom wall as well. Here, let me see. No, I haven't seen her yet. It's a new card, no photo. You know, I heard a commotion up in the green room earlier. Maybe she's up there already.
Maybe I should go out and give her a personal tour of the facility.
Whoa, as long as it's not a tour of your personal Cool your checks, Lawrence. Don't you ever get tired of dating women in the cast?
What are you talking about? It works just fine for me.
You know, actually it works out fine for me too. I just love watching you crash and burn every scene. That's how I get my entertainment. But you know that sooner or later, the ladies will start comparing notes that haven't already. And I don't think they'd be too happy to find out how seriously you take your lesson with all your leading ladies.
Whoa, I wouldn't say I take them seriously. I just think that some scenes deserve intensive rehearsal and additional research. Listen, I'm a dedicated actor. That's why we believe in this play.
Additional research, huh? That's what we're calling your make-up sessions now.
Listen, I respect that you've chosen not to be involved with anyone at the theater. I respect it, but I don't understand it. How can you resist all the lovely talent we work with night after night?
I'm sure everything will be just fine. Diane probably won't even be here today. As she is, I'm sure she's not.
So now as I'm flipping through the cards, those are my upcoming lines.
I knew if she makes this
Marty, the
scene,
stage
I don't
manager,
need
he
one
knew
show. I mean,
that when I needed to pay attention, he would give me a special signal.
That's foolishness. I find it interesting you still dream about her. But after your behavior last year, I personally wouldn't blame her for some bad behavior.
Thanks to the cast and crew, Thursday and Friday went very well. What's the day after Thursday, Friday? Saturday. Saturday, about 1 o'clock, Marty, the stage manager, or actually Marty in real life, he's a park ranger. He called saying that he broke his foot. He misstepped when getting into a boat. There's a long, protracted silence. I didn't know what to say. I dreaded to ask the question. Fortunately, he's a good friend, he knew me. He said, "Listen, I'm going to be there, don't worry. I'm going to be on crutches because I can't put any pressure on the foot, and I'll be on pain meds." No problem. And actually it wasn't. That was kind of a false lead-in. So we called the cast and said, "Hey, come in a little early because we need to redo some choreography again." And we got Marty a wheelchair. We didn't want to risk any further injury. Down to 2 guys. You can kind of see Marty in the background there in the wheelchair. Now this is his first time in a wheelchair, and somehow he mastered it in the quick rehearsal before he ran the show.
I am blinded.
Next day was Sunday matinee. Marty went to the doctor early, got a walking cast. Now, how many of you noticed something in the Poor Peggy number about Marty? Was he doing something different? Watch now. He only steps with his right broken foot. However, just because of that illusion, it's hard to see. Plus, Marty had some fun. We kind of had a loose style in this play anyway, and let him say whatever line he wanted.
That's the last time I helped you chase your pet iguana. First of all, this is the last time I help you with your merengue lessons. Secondly, Peggy, first of all, next time if I give you a ride home and we get pulled over, please let me do the talking, okay? Peggy, first of all, next time we invite you to go swimming at your work, please make sure I'm out of the way before you do your cannonball.
One of Peggy's lines summarizes my feelings pretty well. In Act 2, Nicholas asked her why a cast bonds so closely together.
It's the act of creating something together. It's like we start off as strangers on an empty stage saying unfamiliar words, and we wind up in a world that we built with our own hands. Each of us playing our part to transport the audience to a world that only exists because we created it. New. Each night just for them.
Some of you have already been involved in some of the readings. Do you concur with that family of cast? The finale. When we first turned in the play, the musical, to the play reading committee, I'd already written 16 numbers, and I just didn't feel I had anything more. So we ended the play with a wedding between the director and Bethany. The play reading committee gave us some feedback. Basically, hey, isn't this a musical? So shouldn't it have a musical finale? Fine, fine. So I spent 3 days working on it. I decided to resolve all the arcs of the character. Whether it's a book, whether it's a play, a musical, whatever, arc of a character is from the beginning to the end. What is their evolution? Did they fall in love? Did they become a hero, a villain? Decided to resolve all these things in the final number.
Okay, let's get it formation. Let's together, guys. Ready?
I hate that costume, by the way.
5, 6, 7, 8. Act now and find yourself happy and free. Nothing is certain, there's no guarantee. What do you want? What do you need? Jeff and Diane are really truly apart. If only he could have changed.
If only she could have changed.
Larry the conqueror now has to choose. One is just right, but more tend to bruise. Act now and find yourself happy and free. Nothing is certain, there's no guarantee. What do you want? What do you need? David and Bethany have finally wed. When they must get off the phone.
Let Lisa leave him alone.
Maggie and Blanche, we find our one and the same. How will she deal with her newfound fame? Act now and find yourself happy and free. Nothing is certain, there's no guarantee. What do you want? What do you need? What will become of Steve, our favorite king? He needs to look with his heart.
What's wrong with being a queen?
Cassandra Space is here with friends that she knows. Abigail, Dolly, and Extra's Control. Act now, don't hold yourself back from your goals. Deal with your body, your heart, and your soul. What do you want? What do you need?
interesting scenes. And now start laughing and sharing your joy. Live life is young, accept healthy joy. Know what you want, know what you need. Act now, act now, act now.
Thank you. Another piece of trivia. Bethany's wedding dress, that's the same one that Cheri wore in Company, and was a wedding dress that Rita got married in. So we use all of our resources. That's it. Any questions? Thank you.
The funding for community theater, where did the funding come from?
Where did the funding come from for the theater? So they opened up the theater to some groups. They did art shows. It was, I should mention this. The theater was also combined with a movie theater next door. It was under the same umbrella, but still every year it was right on the edge. There's never a whole bunch of extra. So yeah. Yes.
Have you ever thought about directing for us on the ship?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Yes, because I know that there's a June 20th. There's a the Odyssey players are doing something. Water. So I'm thinking about doing the crossing to Japan. A lot of sea days to be able to do rehearsals. Now, question: a lot of these that I've seen are short attention span theaters, so 15-20 minutes. How do you feel about a full reading, an hour and a half with intermission?
Yes.
Would that be something that would fill your night, be okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not interested in short things. Now, another thing I've thought about in Key West, I forget what they called it, but they would have a 24-hour get-together of 3 or 4 people, and they have to put together a script, perform it, costumes and everything else, in 24 hours. So if we had like 3 or 4, 12 people, 3 or 4 groups, that we could do something like that, would that be interesting? Would we have enough people?
That I don't know.
It's so quiet.
Michael, that's a really good question.
Yeah,
Because
it does.
people want to see it, but they don't necessarily want to participate, and especially if they have to memorize lines.
Oh, yeah, because in that Key West scenario, that would be memorized lines, versus anything else would be a reading where you have the script right in front of you.
Readings would be fine.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's something else we need to talk about. How many have been thinking about theater, wondering about it, and can't really take the step? Because if your hands are down, that means you want to do it. Good. Because look to your right and left. Think of it as jumping on a grenade, that, hey, this time I'll do it and you can watch, and the next time we reverse. So just think about that when we have auditions, to keep this going, to give you entertainment, maybe you do the auditioning this time and somebody else does it the next.
You're saying that's the men, like, there's never a shortage of women.
Yeah, that's a fact. So guys, time to step up, my boys.
Yes.
Other questions? Yes. Blazing Saddles, the biggest or the best movie that he had, that the fourth wall was broken. Yeah, that's a good one. And PC is a question nowadays, but still lovely. Other questions? Yes.
Everybody's got a day job. How much time do you put into getting a show ready, and like before it starts, and how much like?
So auditions happen, and depending on, I can only speak to this theater. We had auditions in October, and then first show was in December. The big musical was in February, and then I think about April, the 3rd and the 4th was in May. And so rehearsals, depending on the show, I directed some of the 3rd and 4th shows, and that was still about 5 weeks of rehearsal.
How many hours a week do you think?
How many nights a week?
So we did rehearsals 5 nights a week if we had such a short schedule, 5 nights a week. And rehearsals could be 2 to 3 hours.
But those rehearsals would be limited to whoever was in a particular scene.
Only the first couple.
Yes.
Yeah, after that,
Yeah.
everybody gets to play.
Is it this, he made a statement, it's only for a certain scene, because yes, I would lay out the whole schedule of, we're practicing this scene, this act, etc. But later on, we have to run the full show. Hello.
Hi, I'm sorry. This is for community theater,
Yes.
right? So what happens if an actor, like, for the auditions, do you use, what kind of system do you use? Do you just have an open call, or do you have like equity actors and non-equity actors at another time, or a certain amount of slots just for the equity actors?
Good question. So, community theater is different. She's asking for equity, that means actors with actual cards and identities in the community. At our theater, we didn't really have any equity members. They were all either in the coast, Miami, or Key West. So we didn't deal with that. So it's totally an open call. But if an equity actor came in, they'd be treated as just a normal person, nothing special. Good question. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for presenting this to us today.